So far, so good for Watford over the Easter break as they pick up a 3-pointer on Friday, as of course with Brentford, Norwich and Swansea all dropping points. But what's going to happen on Monday? As of course, in that round of matches, we'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at matchday number 40 over in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, smash your subscribe, and I'll keep you bang out today with all things Blackburn, Rovers, Championship related. Whoa, football related here on the Roverseas. That's right, boys, because Watford picking up the grand old scheme of things and made good headway for, of course, not just playoffs, but of course automatic spots as they close into just 6 points on, of course, Norwich, and they'll face off each other very, very soon. Of course, I'm trying to look and see when that game is. I think it's actually next. Is it on the weekend? I'm not too sure. It's actually a couple of weekends away, I believe. But anyway, looking forward to that whenever that comes around. But of course, this weekend, big matches. Of course, let's get into it then, shall we? When I say this weekend, I mean, of course, Easter Monday. Of course, these past few days have been a bit of a blur as one game melds into the other. So here we go. Of course, let's take a look back at, of course, the fixtures that did take place on Good Friday. So here we go. I'll kick it all off with, of course, Bournemouth. Big winners for them. 3-1 win over Middlesbrough. 3-1 in the end. Philip Billing, Jefferson Lerma, and Dominic Solanke on the score. With Duncan Watman getting the goal for Middlesbrough, but unfortunately not good enough for them. 2-1 for Bournemouth. 3-1 for me. 3-1 for them. 2-1 for me. Not too bad. Bristol City, they got ousted by, of course, Stoke City. Of course, Nick Powell, Stephen Fletcher on the score sheet for, of course, Stoke in the end. 1-1 for me. Meanwhile, Cardiff also got themselves handed to a plate by, of course, Forest. Of course, grinding out the results. James Garner in the end for Forest, giving them the win 1-0 over Cardiff. Actually, I'm 2-1 myself. Meanwhile, of course, Wayne Rooney FC picked up a win against Luton Town. Big win for them, of course, as well. Lee Gregory, Graham Shinney on the score sheet, giving Derby the win. Actually, I'm with a 1-1 draw myself. Not too good for me either. Meanwhile, of course, Millwall beat Rotherham. 1-0 win for them as well. Of course, moved the chains for Millwall. Jed Wallace on the score sheet. Richard Wood get himself sent off, of course. Meanwhile, Watford, there we go. 2-0 winners over, of course, Sheffield Wednesday. That was my pick. 1-0 was the real deal. Of course, Tom Lees was big for OG on the 7th minute, and that was it. Game, set, and match. Just enough. Get over the line. And, of course, move the chains. Next up, Peterborough, Preston off end against Norwich. Here we go, surprise one here, as the Canaries were ousted once again. Back-to-back games without a win for them now, as they could only muster a point. In Malabuena Buenda on the score sheet, of course, for Norwich. Of course, Brad Potts with a late 95th minute leveller, giving Preston a share of the spoils. Meanwhile, QPR, 3-0 winners of course, Coventry are now, I believe, in that relegation discussion 100%. Chris Willock, Michael Rose, big fat OG in his chair get the goals for, of course, QPR as they move forward. Meanwhile, Wycombe Wanderers, bloody Nora. What's gone on here? What's gone on? There must be an error. No, the one and only goal, of course, from Wycombe. Fred Odeyema on the score sheet, of course, 47th minute, giving them the win. Let's not talk about that. Let's just move on. Of course, Barnsley could only muster a draw against Reading, or should we say Reading could only muster a draw against Barnsley. Of course, goal from Oliver Ejara, giving them the lead on the 34th minute before Alex Mowat levelled it on the 61st minute to keep them in the old playoff hunt. So fair play to them. Of course, Birmingham, also massive win for them as well over Swansea. Late penalty for them. Of course, Scott Hogan converted in the 91st minute to give Birmingham belief that they're also going to get out of this. And Huddersfield Town picked up another strange result for them, or for the Championship, as a 1-1 draw in the end. That was, of course, Saturday. Lewis O'Brien on the 7th minute before Mads Beck Sorensen giving Brentford a share of the spoils. As you can see, we've got a 4 out of 12, which is pretty shit. But the table looks like this as it stands. Of course, Norwich 6 points clear over Watford, still comfortably in charge of their own destiny. But of course, Norwich closing in on them, who now have Watford closing in on Norwich at the moment, who now have a 11-point cushion. 9-point cushion over Brentford at the moment. They do have a game in hand, but guess what? It doesn't really matter for that either. As for the playoff chase, realistically, you're looking at 7th and above, but maybe Cardiff have still got a little bit of wind in their sails. Because of just a win away from closing within. So I'd probably even go down to say maybe Stoke. 11th and up are still technically in the old playoff races. It is a long chalk of a push for those guys to get into it. As for the relegation discussion, when you look at, was it 7 games remaining? 7 games remaining, something like that. Let me do the math quick. That's 21 points on the board, which would be 59. Is that right? 59? Is that how many points are left? 7. It's 21 points, right? They're not going to win 7 out of 7, realistically. So 67. Regardless of all that, yes, Sheffield Wednesday are in a bit of a pickle, I think. I don't know if that's 100%. I thought Sheffield Wednesday are actually with 32 points, rather than actually on 35 points, and Wycombe are in, of course, rooted to the foot of the table with 30 points. As of right now. So still anyone's guess, I'd say. Coventry is still in it. Maybe Birmingham, stretching now for Derby and Huddersfield. But still, we'll see what happens after this coming match day then, shall we? Let's take a look at your picks, and here we bloody go. Of course, not to fall in the Sheffield game, 5-9. You know the deal, blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Shadow Ninja's back, of course. He did Shite, of course. Okay, also did Poop. Ivan Stringer did okay, not too bad. Damien Evan also did Garcia. Tom Stainer, well done to you, did Poop, though. As did Russell Frost, had a little bit of a nightmare. Alex Weller also did Knaparuni. JP City, great, you did good, though. Fair play to you, brother. Kicking on forward. Vincent Ong did okay. QPR Forever also did Poop. Jamie Gold also did Ghastly. And Shane O'Donnell, well done to you, of course. Austin did alright. No, he didn't. Ollie Trafford also did Ghastly. Brew did a bit of poo. And of course, Jockey Jackson also did very, very well. Robert Hollis back in the scene. Not too bad. Did Poop, actually. At least 21 also did Ghastly. And Yannick also did Ghastly. And of course, Omar Esquivel did shite. As for Ojo 52 did okay. Gabe Charlie, not too bad. No, he did Poop. And of course, Cody Go. Absolutely Poop. Let's take a look. There it's so Poop, he did it twice. Here we go, boys, with the leaderboard. Oh my goodness. Here we go, boys, for the leaderboard. If your name is Alex Weller, Shadow Ninja, Jockey Jackson, Lee 2021, Robert Hollis, don't even bloody look at it. As for Ojo 52 and Vincent Ong, take a bloody bow. You yourself 6 there. And of course, you lead the charge for this week and this week alone. What about the overall kingpin then? Well, he is still Russell Frost, I believe. No, it's not. He's been ousted. Oh my goodness. Get on the phone. Get on the phone. Hello. No. Russell Frost is not number 1 no more. It's Gaming bloody Charlie in a very, very tight race indeed. That's right, of course, with, of course, Vincent Hong's still in the mix, Shane O'Donnell as well. They're in the tight race, and then you would realistically say maybe OK and Alex Weller could probably push. As for Joachim Jackson and the chasing back, it might be a little bit too far gone. But we have a race. Oh my goodness, we have a race. I love a challenge right to the bitter end. But of course, still got a lot of, it could still change dramatically this coming Monday. So let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, take a look at the next round of matches. And here we go. It is Middlesbrough kicking on off against Watford, of course, on Monday. And it'll be the early kickoff. Finish of the last 6-0 for Middlesbrough, 4 for Watford, and 2 draws. That's around in Borough. It was a 1-0 win for Watford back in, of course, the Premier League in October 2016. Jose Hollybass on score sheet for Watford back in the day. Also finished this season at Vicarage Road back in September was a 1-0 win for Watford. Craig Caffart on the score sheet. I think it was on TV with 11th minute. Of course, Watford, though, have actually won the last 6 matches in the Championship. Keep a clean sheet, though, in the last 4 matches against Middlesbrough as well. Heading into this, though, 6 wins on the spin for Watford as they grind out the results. Are we in on that? No, we're not in on that. As for Middlesbrough, back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Millwall and, of course, losing to Bournemouth, have them scrambling. Of course, new deal for Warnock is sticking around no matter what. Of course, 23-10 for Middlesbrough, the odds. 21-10 is your draw. 11-8 is your Watford. Of course, Watford are, and of course, second. And whether them they can close in on Norwich. As for Borough, they're 9th. We're going to win for them. They can move up to 8th, and they'll get the dream back on again. I've gone with a 1-1 draw on this one. I think Middlesbrough will be the happier. Watford, not so much. Meanwhile, of course, the game of the weekend. We'll have a watch along on this one. The preview is already on the channel. Of course, it is Rovers taking. Of course, Bournemouth played to the last 6 2 into Rovers, 3 for Bournemouth, 1 draw. Last round in Bournemouth. Sorry, scrap that. Last time in Blackburn, of course, was a 3-2 win for Blackburn. Goodness gracious me. Back in, of course, August 2014. Jordan Rhodes, Grant Hanley, Rudy Gestell on the score sheet. Brett Pittman, of course, Steve Cook on the score sheet for, of course, Bournemouth back in the day. Of course, they also finished this season 3-2 win for Bournemouth. Of course, there's goals in this game. Of course, so we'll hopefully see a bit of a banger this coming Monday. Of course, heading into this, Blackburn have actually failed to win the last 12 of the last 13 matches in the Championship, which is absolutely shambolic. Of course, Bournemouth, though, scoring at least 2 goals in the last 3 matches. Heading into this, Rovers without a win in 5, picking up 3 draws and 2 defeats to boot. As for, of course, Bournemouth, 2 wins at the past 4 games. 2 wins at the past 5 games, of course, beating the likes of Swansea and have also beaten the likes of Middlesbrough. Have them believing again in the league. It's actually back-to-back wins for Bournemouth. Heading into this, though, the bookies' odds will be 23-10 for Blackburn, of course, 23-20 for Bournemouth. They are your favourites. 5-2 is your draw. Of course, heading into this, Bournemouth are actually in 7th, but a win for them, they can move up to 5th. As for Rovers, they're in bloody 15th at the moment, but a win for them, they can close in on 14th. That's Bristol City. In fact, they could probably take over Bristol City with a win because of the goal difference. I've gone with a winner. I've gone with it. I'm going gusto with a 2-1 win for Rovers, which will give the likes of Cardiff, Borough and the like a bit of belief that they can maybe just make into that top 6. So 2-1 for Rovers. Believe in the boys. Believe in the bloody boys. Next, of course, we have Coventry City up against Bristol City. Of course, played for the last 6. 2 is for Coventry, 3 for Bristol, and of course 1 draw last time around. In Coventry was a 3-1 win for Bristol. That's back in, of course, October 2014. Marlon Pack on the score sheet. Of course, Kieran Agard and Scott Wagstaff on the score sheet for Bristol City. Sean Miller get the goal for Coventry. That was, of course, back in 2014 in League One. Coventry, though, failing to score the last 3 matches in the Championship, whereas Bristol City have actually scored the last 3 matches as well. Heading into this, Bristol City without a win in 4. It's actually, sorry, without a win in 3, without just 1 win at the past 6 games for them. That was against Birmingham, 3-0 win. As for Coventry, same sort of deal, just 1 win the past 6 games. That was against Derby. A couple of draws in there, though, for Coventry. As for the bookies' odds on this one, we have even Stevens for Coventry, 23-10 is your draw. Of course, 3-1 is your Bristol City. Bristol City coming into this in 14th, but a win for them, they can move up to 13th. Coventry are actually in 21st at the moment, but a win for them, they can move up to 20th, which will put Birmingham in a bit of bother. I've gone with a 1-1 draw on this one, put a split right in the middle, which is not really going to save any of the 2 sides, of course. Probably the happier would be Bristol City with another point in the bag. Next up, of course, Reading up against Derby County. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, played each other last 6, 2 for Reading, 3 for Derby, 1 draw last round. In the Matchday, it was a 3-0 win for Reading, back in, of course, December 2019. Charlie Adam on the score sheet, Lucas Jow, and of course, you could Mate as well, getting the goals for Reading. Of course, Scott Malone got himself sent off for Derby early doors. However, they also pitched this season at Pride Park, was 2-0 for Reading. Lucas Jow, Ovi Ajara on the score sheet, of course, giving Reading the W. Of course, Derby failing to score the last 4 away matches in the Championship. They're coming into this, though. Derby just 1 win the past 6 games, that was against Luton. However, without a win in 4, that's Reading, who have them scrambling. A lot of draws knocking around for Reading, which is not good enough for them. Bookies odds 5-4 for Reading, 11-5 is draw, 12-5 is your Derby. Of course, Derby coming into this in 19th, but for them, they can move up to 15th. As for Reading, they're in 6th, and with them they can move up to 5th. I've gone with a 2-0 for Reading on this one. I don't really want to say it, but I think they'll just get it. Meanwhile, Luton Town up against Barnsley. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, played each other the last 6, 2 wins apiece and 2 bloody draws last round at Kenilworth Road. Was a 1-1 draw back in, of course, July 2020 in lockdown. It was Appy Halme on the score sheet for, of course, Barnsley. Luke Berry on the score sheet, of course, Luton. Of course, heading into this, though, they also played each other this season in Barnsley. It was a 1-0 win for Luton. In fact, Luton are 4 games unbeaten against Barnsley in all comps. Barnsley now have actually won the last 5 away matches. Heading into this, scoring at least 3 goals in the last 3 matches on the road. Coming into this, though, without a win in 2, though, of course, losing to Sheffield Wednesday, of course, drawing with Reading. As for Luton, just 1 defeat the past 3. That was against Derby the other day, but prior to that was back-to-back wins, of course, back-to-back clean sheets as well. Look at the bookies' odds on this one. Luton 5-2 for the victory, 20-10 is your draw, 5-4 is your Barnsley. Of course, Barnsley coming to this in, of course, 5th. With them, they can move closer to 4th. As for, I just can't believe how high they're up in that table. I love it. I love the fact that they're up there. It's just mind-bogglingly mad. As for Luton, also tremendous season for them. A win for them in 30th. They could go up to 12th. Gonna go with a 1-0 win though for Luton on this one. I just think Luton at home are hard to beat. Barnsley have had a bit of a rough patch. They need a good couple of results to go their way to seal the bloody deal. I want them to hang on. I want them to hang on, but I just don't think they'll do it this one. Luton will be a bit of a stubborn unit. Next, of course, Forest up against QPR. Difficult one this one. Plays on the last 6-3 for Forest, 2 for QPR, 1 draw last round in the City Grounds back in February 2020. It was a 0-0 draw back in, of course, back then. Of course, played each other this season at Loftus Road, 2-0 win for QPR back in, of course, September. Forest, though, keep a clean sheet in 7 last 9 home matches against QPR in all comps. Heading into this Nottingham Forest, we're just, what are we looking at here? 1 win the past 4 games for them. Of course, that 1 was against Cardiff. Also, just 1 defeat the past 4 as well. The 1 defeat was against Norwich. Meanwhile, QPR just 1 defeat the past 6. That 1 defeat was against Huddersfield, beating the likes of Bristol City, of course, Wycombe, Millwall, and of course, Coventry, and of course, drawing the likes against Reading as well. QPR moving nicely. As for the bookies' odds on this one, Forest actually 31-20 for the victory, 11-5 is your draw, 15-8 is your QPR. QPR currently find themselves in a 12th, and a win for them, they could go up to 9th. Get in there, look at that for them, a bit of a push. As for Forest, they're down into, of course, 16th, but a win for them, they can move up to 15th in the end. I've gone with Forest again on this one, home form on this one. I know home form doesn't really pay for much these days without the fans, but I just think Forest, with a win against who did they beat the other day? They just beat Cardiff on the road. I think they'll have their tails up and they'll get another one in the bag to keep them moving on nicely as their season comes to a close. Meanwhile, Rotherham against, of course, Wycombe. Relegation 6 point if I ever did see one. Of course, 1 win for Rotherham over the last 6 between the two sides. 4 wins for Wycombe, of course, and of course 1 draw. Last round in Rotherham was a 1-0 win for Wycombe back in, of course, League 1 back in October 2019. Scott Cashout getting the goal for, of course, Wycombe. Also, pretty sure that this season though in Wycombe was a 1-0 win for Rotherham. Michael Wike getting the goal, of course. Rotherham the win. Wycombe though failing to score in the last 5 away matches in the Championship, whereas Rotherham actually lost their last 4 matches at home. Heading into this though, 2 wins the past 4 games for Rotherham have them scrapping for their lives. As for Wycombe, just 1 defeat the past 4 for them. That 1 defeat was against Barnsley, of course, at home. As for, of course, the bookies' odds on this one, Rotherham 5-4 on for the victory, 27-10 is your draw, 7-2 is your Wycombe. Wycombe, of course, are rooted to the root for the table. What a win for them. They could go above Sheffield Wednesday up to 23rd. As for Rotherham, they're in 22nd, but a win for them. They could close in on Coventry. And they've got games in hand as well. 1 win for Rotherham. Unfortunately, Wycombe will lose. Meanwhile, Stoke City taking, of course, Millwall. Let's get into this one now, shall we? What's this one? Is this the Rowett derby or something like that. The Gary Rowett derby. Anyway, played each of the last 6, 2 wins for Stoke, 1 win for Millwall, 3 draws. Last time around in Stoke was a 0-0 draw back in, of course, January 2010. The one and only highlight was a Shaw Williams red card as Millwall entered the game with 10 men. Also played each other this season down at, of course, the Denham was a 0-0 draw. In fact, 3 of the last 4 matches between the two sides have ended up 0-0. Of course, Millwall keep a clean sheet in the last 4 matches against Stoke, where Stoke have actually kept a clean sheet in 5 of the last 6 matches at home so far. Of course, heading into this, of course, back-to-back wins for Millwall, beating the likes of Middlesbrough and, of course, Rotherham. As for Stoke, without 3 games without a defeat, and also back-to-back wins for them, also back-to-back clean sheets. It smells like a 0-0 draw, doesn't it? It smells like a bloody 0-0. Of course, bookies odds on this one, we don't have the bookies odds. Of course, Stoke coming at you, of course, in 11th win for them, they could go up to 8th. As for Millwall, they're actually in 10th win for them, they could also go up to 8th. It smells like a draw, but I've gone with a 2-1 win for Stoke. It smells like a bloody draw, it does. Meanwhile, Swansea up against Preston off end. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, Swansea in a bit of a rut. Preston, of course, no manager at the moment. Of course, 3 wins at the last 6 between two sides, of course, for Swansea. 1 win for Preston, of course, 2 draws. Last round down at Liberty, it was a 3-2 win for Swansea. Of course, back in August 2019, Borja Bastion with a couple of goals there, George Byers as well. Joseph Rafferty, of course, Daniel Johnson getting the goals for Preston. Heading into this, they also played the down deep down, of course, back in September, was a 1-0 win for Swansea. Swansea, though, winning their last 6 home matches against Preston in all comps. West Preston have actually lost the last 4 on the road. Coming into this, though, yeah, Preston without a win in at least 6, 3 defeats on the spin for Swansea, have them scrambling, haven't scored a goal as well in 3 bloody games. Just 1 win at the past 5, that one was against Luton Town. Of course, heading into this, the bookies odds, what do we have on this one? 11-10 on for Swansea, at 12-5 is draw, 10-3 for Preston. Of course, if you want to play Swansea, it is now. Of course, win for Preston in 17th, they could go up to, of course, 15th. As for Swansea, they're in 4th. Win for them, they could close, they could go 3rd, and close it in on 2nd. I'm going with Swansea big. They're going to have a response one of these days, but will it not be this game? Will it be Preston to come out smiling? Sheffield Wednesday must-win game for them against Cardiff. I think they're all must-win games from here on in. Played the last 6 against Cardiff, 2 wins for them, 1 with Cardiff, 3 draws last round in Sheffield Wednesday down at Hillsborough. It was back in December 2019. 2-1 win for Cardiff it was, with goals coming from Robert Glatzel and Junior Hoylett as well. Tom Lee's getting the goal for, of course, Sheffield Wednesday. Also played each other this season in Wales. Of course, it was a 2-1 win for Sheffield Wednesday back in, of course, September. Cardiff, though, undefeated in the last 8 away matches in the Championship, where Sheffield Wednesday have actually failed to win 9 last 10 matches in the Champ. Of course, coming into this, though, Cardiff just 1 win the past 5 games for them, and that one was against Swansea. As for Sheffield Wednesday, just 1 win the past 6 for them, that one was against Barnsley. Of course, heading into this, of course, bookies odds on this one. Sheffield Wednesday 9-4 for the victory, 20-10 is your draw, 11-8 is your Cardiff. Of course, Cardiff going to find themselves in 8th. The win for them, they could actually be. They can close in on 7th, of course, they can't make it. As for Sheffield Wednesday in 23rd, a win for them, they could go 22nd, and they might be on to the Great Escape. Gone with a 2-1 win there for Cardiff on this one. Unfortunately, Sheffield Wednesday will hit the skids. Next up, of course, Brentford up against Birmingham in the Battle of the Bees. Of course, played to the last 6, 1 for Brentford, 2 for Birmingham, and 3 draws. Last round in Brentford was a 1-0 win for Birmingham, of course, back in, of course, August 2019. Christian Pedersen on score, giving Birmingham the win. Of course, heading into this, Brentford just 1 win. Actually, 1 defeat in the past 6 for them, but 1 defeat was against Norwich. However, just 1 win in the past 5. That one was against Rovers, of course, as it was. 3 draws on the spin for them. 2-2 against Derby, 1-1 against Forest, of course, and 1-1 against Huddersfield. As for Birmingham, 2 wins in the past 3 games since Bowyer's bounce, of course, beating Reading, and of course beating Swansea. They have lost to Watford, though. Of course, can they make it 3 from 4? Bookies to odds 20-11 on for Brentford. Stone Cold 3-1 is draw. 11-2 is your Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham currently find themselves in 20th. Better win for them. They can move up to 18th. As for Brentford, they're in 3rd at the moment. Quite a considerable distance away from Watford at the moment. And of course, it looks like it's going to be playoff bound for Brentford once again. Going to go with a win for Brentford, though. Unfortunately, Birmingham will hit the skids as well. Norwich taking, of course, Huddersfield as well. The final game of this Easter weekend. Played to the last 6, 3 for Norwich, 2 for Huddersfield, of course, 1 draw. Last round in Carrow was a 2-1 win for Huddersfield back in, of course, the Championship in December. Ellis Kachunga with a couple of goals there. Johnny Howson getting the goal as well. Also played this season down at the McAlpine. John Smith, Kirklees, whatever we call it, was a 1-0 win for Norwich. Of course, Norwich undefeated in the last 17 home matches in the Championship, whereas Huddersfield actually failed to win 13 last 14 matches on the road. They're coming into this, though, Huddersfield without a win, without a defeat in 5, picking up 4 draws and a win to boot. As for Norwich, back-to-back draws for them, have them scrambling for a little bit for the first time. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Norwich coming at you 11-4 on for the victory, 4-1 is draw. 15-2 is your Huddersfield. Of course, Huddersfield currently find themselves in 18th, but a win for them, they can move up to bloody 50th. As for Norwich, they are top, and they'll be top no matter what. They'll get the win anyway. 3-0 win, comfortable, and a clean sheet to boot, boys. And that's what I think will happen. If I'm right, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. It'll still be as you were, or be a little bit. It'll be more generous, of course. What did I go for the Watford game? I went for the draw. Oh my, oh goodness gracious me, that's it. Of course, Norwich lead the charge over Watford. Of course, Brentford close in a little bit maybe. And of course, Swansea and Reading and Barnsley make up your top 6. Bournemouth though, breathing down the necks. And it's Cardiff, Stoke and Middlesbrough as well. As for the relegation spots, it's still Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday and of course Rotherham in there. But Rotherham not too far away either. But that's it, my friends. Be sure to get your picks in early for this. And we'll do it all again, of course, at the end of the Easter break, which will be a Tuesday. So it'll be right either Wednesday or late Tuesday. We'll see when we get the video up. Got the video, of course, give it a bit of love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Facebook, and of course Twitch and Patreon if you want to support channel another way. Besides from that, be safe out there. See you all soon. Have a good Easter. Until then, I'm out.